I want to talk about the conviction because that's when we first met, and then what the aftermath was. You were pretty vehement that day, as was everyone at InfoWars, even though I think I definitely asked you on air before it happened, what was the percentage chance? And I think you said 87% chance he gets convicted. I think you said that. But then afterwards, it still was really emotional. And I think you even said, everyone's going to remember where they were that day. Tell me about that day for you, the disconnect between everyone knew it was going to happen, and then when it happened, everyone was surprised, and then aftermath.
It is, I mean, in a way, not to be melodramatic or hyper dramatic. It's like when someone dies, and especially if they've been sort of sick, and you say, "Well, we always knew this day was coming." Well, I'll take a dog, and then I'll try not to cry because it reminds me of my dog Winston, not the one I have now, but my bull mastiff. We put him to sleep. You knew the day's coming, and you're prepared for it, or you think you are, and then it happens, and then you come back to an empty house, and you expect the dog to be there just reflexively. What happened to Trump? Everyone had built themselves up for it. The system's broken. We know it's going to happen. I remember where I was because I was just about to go fishing, and I was outside. I'm just refreshing, and I was like, "Oh, wow! Unanimous conviction on all 34 charges." And I'm like, "They've killed something as relates to a spiritual aspect of American society. They successfully killed something in democracy when it worked. It worked in that, not that it's going to work in not getting him elected. It worked in showing us that." Every society, no matter how evolved and no matter how enlightened, is one generation away from, or even 1 year away from, or one political movement away from descending into Soviet Russia. And it was satisfying. So it happens, and they're like, "Oh wow, the dog is dead," and they actually did it. We'll get over it. We'll get another dog. We'll get past this moment. But they did it. They successfully found a man, found the crime, and convicted him on absolute rubbish. They convicted him on what Hillary Clinton and the DNC actually committed. And I'm not saying this is a whataboutism or look at her emails. This is, they convicted their adversaries of the crimes they committed themselves. Trump did not commit any of these so-called crimes. 34 charge felony. This is coming out of, and I repeat it over and over again, the Soros-funded Alvin Bragg prosecution of Donald Trump. The helm of that ship, Juan Merchant, whose daughter is profiting off this persecution, in a trial in which they basically pulled an Alex Jones, stripped the defendant of certain inalienable rights so they could go ahead with this show trial and get a conviction. Trump was convicted for doing literally what Hillary Clinton did, using campaign funds to interfere with an election and then falsify those payments so that they would not be disclosed. Because recall, Hillary Clinton financed the Steele dossier, which was not opposition research. It was just outright lies prepared by foreign assets. Financed it, paid for it, concealed that payment, then used her lawyer to submit that Steele dossier to the FBI, who then leaked it to Yahoo, who then published an article on it that the FBI then relied on for the purposes of obtaining unlawful FISA spy warrants on Trump campaign via Carter Page. That's what Clinton did. They charged Trump with having done that, even though the payment to Stormy Daniels, in as much as there was one, was not paid with campaign finances, was not paid with campaign finances, money. And it wasn't concealed because it was invoiced by and paid through legal services. And so they just take victims of their own crimes and convict them of them. And I was like, holy crap, they actually did it. And they made the judicial process into another arm of a weaponized partisan government. And so it's like, what can you do? They've crossed another Rubicon, and it's going to take time to heal from this. But in the meantime, everybody should understand, get the hell out of these hellhole, Democrat-run, corrupt states, New York being the latest of them. Just get out, because it doesn't matter what you've done. You don't even have to have committed the crime in order for them to convict you of it.
Yeah, again, another kind of sad day for me to realize, I traveled to the United States. I don't go very often, but then, the few days I'm there, I get to see this broken system that you would have never thought could ever have been corrupted in such a way. And then you see evidence. And then behind the scenes, I'll be honest, Viva, it was really trippy because obviously InfoWars is going crazy. Everybody's jumping back on air. Alex is coming back on air. And in between, the segments, when they're putting the commercial segments, they're telling me, Brian, this is how we felt at our trial. because we couldn't say anything. We couldn't protest. We couldn't push back. It was all decided beforehand. And it was just a really emotional time to just think that this justice system, that we grew up thinking America was always this holier than thou, this better place, this, to realize that it just wasn't anymore. And again, a bit like that debate is just a little sad.
Well, and worse still is that people were cheering it on. Like these idiot lemmings don't understand the hell that they're ushering in. And they think, he's a convicted felon. Low information, partisan and deranged people. I've had a theory now. It was Lord Buckley, Mark Grobert on another part of our internet community, who suggested that this 2016 Trump derangement syndrome is sort of like the MK Ultra 2.0, just like mass hysteria. And they brainwashed people into ushering in their own demise. So above and beyond, it's one thing to see a corrupt regime doing corrupt things. It's another thing to see the people cheering it on and rejoicing in it. And that was the most repulsive element about it. I appreciate Twitter's probably not representative of everyday people, but then I talked to people from New York and he broke the law because he got convicted. It's like, it's a tautology of corruption now. He's guilty because he broke the law. He broke the law, therefore he's guilty. But it's just watching people usher this in and celebrate it that really is the more depressing thing, much like up in Canada, when some Canadians were cheering on the invocation of the Emergencies Act to violently suppress the most peaceful protest ever, ratified freezing of bank accounts with no due process, no judicial anything, and people cheer it on thinking that this is somehow progress when it's the descent into tyranny out of which it's difficult to vote yourself.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.